Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hey, so we're here doing a quick podcast,
Yes,
a little conversation. So
what do you got today?
Okay, so recently I watched this show. I don't know what channel it is on, but I found it on Amazon Prime.
Okay,
Amazon
Prime.
The show is called In Search of Monsters.
Okay, I like so far where it's going.
So they kind of do a little new twist on like monsters. So one of them, in episode 3,
on like stories that are already famous, right?
Yeah, stories are like monsters, like the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot,
things you haven't heard before.
Yeah, people heard things that people have heard before. So episode number 3 was about the Mothman.
Okay.
And I started to watch
Classic.
it. Yeah, Mothman, our mascot. And I watched it, and I thought it was very well done. They gave you a history about it, and they put in a little twist there, a little bit, But let me ask you this, Mario.
Yes.
Do you remember anything about the Mothman? Do you remember anything? I remember we did a podcast.
He was like an omen, right? Right before something horrible was gonna happen, he showed up.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a real quick recap of the Mothman.
Okay, tell me.
So the Mothman is a 6 to 7 foot tall humanoid creature with large wings. He has red hypnotizing eyes. And he was seen around Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Okay.
So
it's like very rural, very Appalachian Mountains, kind of like forests and stuff.
In a wild area. In a wild area, like forests and stuff like that.
Okay.
And in that in West Virginia, the Point Pleasant, it's become a tourist attraction. People go there to see for the Mothman. They even have a Mothman celebration, and they even have a freaking statue of him in the middle of the city.
Nice, yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So that's the Mothman.
Yes.
So
the basics of it, right?
The basics, basically the descriptions of it. A couple seen it around the wild area in 1966. It caused the bridge to collapse, or supposedly it caused the end of the bad omen that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But in the episode, they tell you about a event that happened. So in 2009, this couple who've heard about the story about the Mothman go to the area where it was seen. So Mothman was seen in a wild area, also known as the TNT area, because in World War II, the area would use to create explosions, explosive devices, in World War II, and then it was abandoned. So people say that's where people have seen the Mothman there, and so they decided to go there. And they used a voice recorder to record EVPs to try to capture something there, like a demon or a spirit or even the Mothman. So they recorded it, and then they asked, hey, you know what? If there's something here, speak closer to the mic or something like that, And they didn't hear anything, but when they got home, they listened to the recording, and the recording, they heard a voice.
What did it say?
What did the voice say? I'm trying to remember right now.
Was it the Mothman's voice, you think, or something else?
You know what? They say it was most likely the Mothman.
How you know?
Because that's what they think it is.
Well, what did it say?
It said, "I'm here."
Dude, I don't know. Maybe it was some sort of evil demon. Sometimes you go on the Ouija board, you want to contact like a lost dead relative, right? And he says, "Yes, I am here, my son. Please feed me." And as you conjured up an evil demon.
Yeah, but it said, "I'm here," like kind of in a growling voice.
I am here.
Yeah, I'm here, or something like that, right? So they're convinced they caught the Mothman.
But
like the voice recording. Okay. That's what they believe in, So then after that, they said they've been haunted by that same voice in their home.
So that's not the Mothman.
So here's the twist I was telling you about. Remember that I was telling you about earlier, where they're trying to. So now they're trying to make it seem like the Mothman is a demon.
A demon.
Yeah, like a demon. Like now he's a physical being, but also a demonic being that you can. So that's what I was telling you about. So in this episode, they return 10 years later to the area with a psychic investigator, and they want to ask the entity what it wants, because the entity has been attacking them, they've been recording him like all over everywhere they've been going,
Oh, wow.
So they go inside.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, in this one, yeah. So they use a ghost. The private investigator, the psychic investigator, uses a ghost box.
Oh, nice.
Kind of like a spirit com.
Yeah.
To contact with the spirit of the Mothman, and they ask it, "What do you want from these people?" And you know what it says?
Their souls or something?
Close.
Their lives?
No.
What is it?
Blood.
Nice.
and then the guy goes, "Oh God," you know, and the chick goes like, "What did he say?" And the guy goes, "Blood," and the chick starts freaking out. And then they ask it, "Are you the Mothman?" And it says, "Yes."
You know, I personally feel it's just an evil demonic entity that's like, I don't give a shit what the hell you call me, I'm gonna fucking take your blood.
No, but this is what I was talking about. So this is the reason why the show is. I'm not saying it's getting really bad reviews, but there are some bad reviews where saying like they're completely stretching it out. Just, you know, like it went from being a mythical creature to being now a demonic entity. Yeah, demonic entity. You know.
It's like you went to look for Santa Claus, but you found a space alien.
Yeah, right? Oh my God, Santa Claus was a space alien all these years, you know? I knew it, you know? Yeah. That's basically what they're trying, what they were trying to do with this episode. And after
do you believe it, though?
You know, to be honest with you, I don't.
They seem like they were acting?
I don't think they were acting, but I just don't believe it was the Mothman, man. Because then they also referenced the Flatwoods Monster, you know, like, it's, you know, where some kids saw a UFO coming out of a spaceship, and the UFO kind of looked like the Mothman. Like, I think it was real, like in the next city close to where the Mothman was spotted.
In that city, do they, instead of the Mothman, they have the Fleetwood Monster?
It was the Fleetwood Monster, yeah. So Flatwoods Monster. But I don't think they celebrate it.
Every town has their own evil demonic
entity. So then they also talked about how when they talked about the Flatwood Monster, they also talked about the Mothman being an alien. so that they have this lady, like an eyewitness, come out and says that one time she was hanging out with her boyfriend. All these people, everybody, you know, like, I guess you have to have a date to see the Mothman.
Of course.
Because most of these couples are seeing it.
A couple of shots of moonshine.
I know, right?
I see it.
So this couple were hanging out, I guess, close to the TNT area, and they saw a really big spaceship fly above them.
Nice.
And the guy is driving away, trying to get away from it, and she sees a spaceship up in the sky, and she sees a flying winged creature flying next to it.
All right.
With red eyes. And she's like, I'm pretty sure it was the Mothman. So now the Mothman's a fucking alien. Yeah, it went from being a mythical creature to just a bird to being a demon to being a fucking UFO.
Imagine the government says, no, it's just a, what do you call that, space balloon. It was just...
Oh, yeah, right? It was just a space balloon,
balloon, yeah. It's just a natural phenomenon that happens once a year where the crystals in the air reflect into a mythical creature.
Mothman,
Mothman. Just ignore it.
It's nothing. No, but then they also mention people seeing aliens around the area. They don't mention Indrid Cold, another... alien that people saw around the area at the same time as the Mothman, which people are saying is the Mothman.
Yeah.
You know, and then they have this other dude in the episode. The dude is comparing the Mothman to winged deities who the Sumerians worship.
What the fuck? You're going crazy, dude. Come on, man. This ancient Sumerian deities?
Yeah.
This shit sounds cool, man.
and then they mentioned, you know, like, it also has a somewhat resemblance to Pazuzu. Remember the fucking demon from The Exorcist?
Fuck it, might as well everyone, man.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, dude, this show's fucking hilarious. But it was awesome, you know. And then and they told a story that I never heard of. So apparently, in Texas in 1953. People were hanging out outside their porch in their house, and they saw a winged creature, fly to a tree nearby, and it had red eyes, and it flew away. And people described it as the Batman of Texas.
Oh wow!
And that's the one I never heard. You know.
Nice.
And they also talked about the Owl Man. Remember in England?
Yeah.
Remember I told you about, and then how people have seen the Mothman in, like, you know, tragic areas, kind of like the bridge that collapsed, and then people seeing the Mothman in 2017 in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I told you my personal story about, not me, but my family, like my grandmother in Honduras, when she was little, how she was telling me, like, when she was little, she saw a giant winged creature stench, wretched stench, and like big red eyes. Like, but this was in the middle of the day. Land. She lived next to a river close to the ocean. Land by her boat, and she ran because it was like, like screaming and stuff. You know, so maybe there is something as like an unknown entity, right? Maybe just a prehistoric dinosaur that like survived.
Maybe
lots of its kind, you know, and
one other thing. I don't believe it's a UFO. I don't believe it's a demon because they also said it could also be a fallen angel or a demon.
Fuck it, might as well.
Yeah, might as well. And I was just thinking, like, dude, like, I don't know. It's like, I think it's just a creature we haven't seen yet. To stretch it out that much. Kind of already makes it look kind of like it was already being laughed at because people don't believe in it.
Are you the Mothman?
I'm not the Mothman.
Imagine you get this plot like, I am the Mothman.
I am the Mothman. So then there's a book. I remember, I believe I told you, and it became a movie called The Mothman Prophecies.
It was a really bad movie, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty bad movie, But the guy who wrote the book says that there's certain areas in the world where there's openings where other creatures from other realities can get inside our world.
I believe that, yeah, certainly.
And they can come in and out. And that's where the theory of, demons and fallen angels comes in, where the Mothman, that's how he's very hard to find, because he comes in and out of realities.
Can I tell you a story, or should I tell you for a different podcast episode?
Well, is it about Mothman?
No, but it's about... let's cut it here, and then we'll do a different episode.
No, you can tell it. Yeah, we really have 11 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so I was speaking to my cousin, and I'm paranoid. I believe like the Men in Black. If you know too much, they'll take me in a black van and you never see me again.
Speaking of the Men in Black, real quick,
they come in this. They come out too.
Yeah, remember people were visited. When people saw when the lady saw the fucking UFO, apparently she was visited by the Men in Black. Remember the UFO flying with the Mothman?
Yeah.
She said that she got visited by the UFO.
What'd they say?
Nothing. They just were looking for her. But keep going, man.
So yeah, I'm always careful. I don't want to overstep my boundaries. But I share with you the story. And, just a story I heard. So take it for what it's worth, a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I know somebody from a different country. And that's I'm going to be vague with details because I don't,
Dude, that's fine, dude.
Because of my own paranoia.
Yeah.
But I know someone from a different country. And they're telling me, in this country, it's a third world, third world country. Poor. But he lives in a city that's populated, right? It has like 1,200,000 people around there. It's not a small. It's not a small city.
Okay.
He was telling me how one day he's a teenager. He must have been like at least 12 or 13. He was playing soccer with his friends, and then all of a sudden they see an object fall from the sky, and then it crashes and it makes a lot of noise. So he doesn't go to explore, but it's his friend that was playing soccer with him goes. So this thing crashed in the middle of this giant city in the third world country, right?
Yeah.
So his friends goes and his friends shoots a video. So what this guy told me is that when he saw the video, that it showed like a giant metallic object that was like that crashed. It was like it looked like a flying saucer, right?
Yeah.
And he was telling me they was making strange like howling noises, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the guy who told me the story told me that I think that very day a U.S. politician came out on the news telling them that it was nothing, that it was just like a satellite balloon that crashed.
Oh, dude, you know what? I kind of remember you telling me this story before.
Yeah,
I remember that
something
last part.
To that nature. Yeah, something to that nature. We're like, oh, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We got it. We took care of it, And like, yeah, you don't want mass hysteria, right? People are like, oh my God, aliens are real. Fuck. And then everybody starts looting, right? So you want people like, yeah, don't worry, But at the same time, it's like, like, I don't know, man. I do believe there's something to this story, because the guy, sometimes you get lied to and you believe a good story, but
yeah.
I do believe this person, and maybe if there's somebody who knows, well, my vague detail, maybe like, oh yeah, I heard about this crash in this third world country that happened. Like,
leave us a comment if you have.
Leave us a comment if you heard something similar too, right? But I thought it was an interesting story, Yeah.
Okay, so but going back to the Mothman, that was a good story though, man.
Fuck your story, Mario.
No. Going back to the Mothman, like so we can finish up this podcast. Yeah. Like like I really like that story. You know, like to be honest with you, it kind of gave me chills right now.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, like, it kind of freaked me out.
You sure it wasn't that your dinner you ate?
Oh yeah, right.
I think it might be a little food sick too.
I know, right? Oh fuck. No.
Tell me, let's finish the Mothman, man.
Yeah. No. Honest opinion. What do you think the Mothman is? After what I told you right now, and all these fucking stretched out, and your story about like the UFOs and everything, what do you think it is? Like honestly,
it is something. Is it check the
and
truth?
is it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This is my hypothesis. I think it's a giant owl.
The giant owl?
Giant owl, and I think I'm just fucking with you. Maybe it's some sort of like prehistoric animal, you know, that it gets a rural part of the nation, right? And I always felt like it's a big world, you know. There's things that exist in like these rural parts that like maybe it's the last of its kind, you know. Maybe it's or something, you know. Strange things have lived on this planet, you know. And I feel like or maybe anything is possible, you know. I think the further you go into the like fifth dimensional crossing entities, like that seems to be a little less likely, you know, but anything's possible, you know. I certainly won't completely say it's not true, but I do think that there is something there, you know. And my theory will be like the Loch Ness monster, right?
Yeah.
It was they hypothesized that it was some sort of like prehistoric dinosaur. Yeah. Maybe it was, you know, maybe, and then died because it was the last of its kind, you know.
Yeah.
But anything is possible, dude.
You know what I think it is, honestly?
What do you think?
I think it's an owl.
You think it's an owl?
Yeah.
Most likely it's an owl.
I believe it's an owl, and how our eyes sometimes play tricks on us at late at night.
Yeah, and the the great owls that live in that part of the world.
Yeah, there's some owls that live in that area.
They're huge, right?
Yeah, they're pretty huge, but then people are saying, like, how do you explain the humanoid shape?
Maybe the shadows and the
sun. Yeah, you know, and then these owls have red eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm thinking, I want to believe towards it being a creature that exists, but I kind of also like want to go more with it just being a regular owl. Yeah.
And also, like, I'm telling you, my grandma, you know, my grandma told me a story, something similar to Mothman, you know. In that part of the world, you know, she's from Honduras. In that part of the world, you know, it's at the time especially, there was a lot of forests, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, the giant sloth creatures and all these like very exotic animals live there, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's very likely that that maybe she did see a prehistoric animal, you know, that's so rare, you know, that it only came out once in a while, you know, and now that, you know, because of deforestation and human development, that we killed it.
Oh, dude, I never thought about that, dude. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Shit, that's crazy.
So maybe it's dead. Maybe we fucking killed the Mothman.
You know, Mothman has not been seen.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, the last time anybody has seen the Mothman was 2017, apparently.
Oh, really?
So it's like, it's right now, it's 2019, close to 2020. It's probably dead.
It's probably dead. Yeah, Mothman's died. We killed it.
We killed it.
Yeah, climate change.
Thanks a lot, people.
On that note.
All right, guys, this is our podcast. Oh, you know, I want to share one last thing.
All right, sure.
Okay, so I always wondered why it was called the Mothman. Right?
Because it looked like a giant moth?
No, because people were drawing it more like an owl when the eyewitnesses.
Well, they call it an owl man, right?
Yeah, you know, but it was the media that created the name Mothman.
Oh.
So, and it just stuck to it. You know, kind of like D.B. Cooper. His name was not D.B. Cooper.
What's D.B. Cooper?
Remember the that'd be another story.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a guy, and the media got it wrong. The guy's name was Dan Cooper, but the media portrayed it as D.B. Cooper.
He was like a serial killer or something?
He was a hijacker. Okay,
sounds like a criminal. Criminal's name.
But so there you go.
Thank you for sharing, Mephisto.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to look up the Mothman, you can watch this episode, or you can look up more information about it.
Or if you've seen the Mothman, or if you are the Mothman, please leave a message.
I know, right? You can look up more information about the Mothman online. Just like the video if you enjoyed it.
Subscribe.
Thanks, guys.
If you're that one lucky person, you stayed through the whole podcast. Thank
you guys. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.